All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Hashem. A couple of days ago, I saw a video, another notorious video of someone sharing information about Orisha. And it was all wrong, you know what I mean? It's not a difference of opinion, it's not a different school of thought, it's not a regional variation, it's not something that you would find, between Cuba and Brazil or between the diaspora and Nigeria. It was just a lot of incorrect information. And someone had shared the video, and they made the cases like, hey, this is why I believe in gatekeeping. And when I read the thread, a lot of people who were in agreement, and including myself, right? But I thought about it, and I really want to make the distinction between developmentally appropriate instruction or information and gatekeeping. They're different, and they have different functions. So when I say developmentally appropriate instruction, I'm talking about presenting information and instruction to people according to their actual level of skill, ability, comprehension, exposure. And to simplify it, let's go back to when we were little and we had just gotten to our addition, right? Maybe we were doing double-digit addition, and there was someone else who was either in a grade above us or just more advanced in math, and they were doing multiplication. And you say, oh, I want to learn multiplication. I can do multiplication. But you haven't mastered addition and subtraction. And so your teacher told you no. First, you have to master addition and subtraction, and then we can introduce you to multiplication. And of course, when you try to go beyond your stage of development, you quickly find that, I can't really do multiplication until I know how to add and subtract in my head, right? And so that's what developmentally appropriate instruction is about. You give someone information and training based upon what they can actually comprehend, what they have the skills to actually manage, right? Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you got gatekeeping. And gatekeeping has two connotations or two uses. Negatively, I can be gatekeeping to basically keep you out, right? And it's negative when you are someone who actually has mastered addition and subtraction, but I just don't want you to be able to go to multiplication. So I gatekeep the timetables to prevent you from growing. That's a negative use of gatekeeping. But then there's also a positive use of gatekeeping. Positive use of gatekeeping is where people who should not know don't get access. And there's a variety of reasons why a person should not know, right? Maybe not in the case of multiplication, but when it comes to Orisha lifestyle, that's why we're called Alawo, because these things are the exclusive, what we might call proprietary right? There's proprietary information that only belongs to people who are a part of the society. If you're not a part of the society, then there's certain things that you just don't need to know, period. There's certain things that we who are in the society don't need to ever tell anybody who's outside of the society. It's family business, so to speak. And so we keep it to ourselves. It should be gate-kept, right? So we have to make the distinction between those, those different practices and why people are doing certain things. In my own case, you'll notice, even though I'm, very active on social media, and I have been for a number of years, I am really exercising my understanding of developmentally appropriate instruction and information, right? You're not going to find any videos or photographs of me divulging secrets or performing rituals and ceremonies that are not for public consumption, okay? Now, one of the ways that I want to help you discern what should and should not be shared is I want you to think about all the different levels of people and exposure of people, what they might know and be familiar with, and just think about what you're saying. Think about what you're producing, and think about, where is a person picking this up? What's the context for what, someone just saw your video and they don't know anything, they've never been exposed at all. Are you sure that what you're doing and what you're saying is appropriate for someone who's brand new to this tradition? If you don't know, then you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't say it. And that can be challenging. It requires some discernment. It requires you to have certain kinds of experiences to know for sure. But just to begin the process of filtering out what you say and what you do online, ask yourself that question. If somebody was a total beginner, they didn't know anything, and they just watched this video, and this is the first thing that they see, is it appropriate? Is it appropriate? Is this what someone should hear for the very first time? Are they going to be able to make sense of it? Right? And in many instances, it may not be that you just don't say it at all. It may be just the way that you say it. You deliberately deliver the message and the information in a way that people who do know will fully understand what you're talking about, where what your point of reference is, and a person who doesn't know will be able to get an understanding of a certain principle or an idea without being distracted or disturbed by the form and the display. Because the internet is filled with things that are developmentally inappropriate, which is why if you're a responsible parent or a teacher, there are things that you're going to restrict your children from being able to access on the internet. It's not a safe place for children to be roaming, right? So you got to be cognizant of the fact that even though a lot of the people are adults that we're talking about, it's still your responsibility to know that when you present inappropriate information to people, you put the cart before the horse, so to speak, it's damaging, it's destructive. The information itself, there's no real problem with it. It's just that it's damaging when you present it to somebody before they're actually ready. They don't have a point of reference. They don't have a context. They don't have anywhere to put what you just showed them. They don't have anywhere to put what you just said. is damaging. It could be damaging to the person, and it could be damaging to the tradition, because now this person has gone on with the wrong idea, and they don't have any way to process it. You've done more harm than good. And so part of our challenge as practitioners is that not everyone knows and has understood this over the years. So part of the reason why I started writing and part of the reason why I started making videos is because I kept seeing things that were in books that should not have been in books, not in those books, right? You got a book that's got disclaimers, you know, this is not for the general public, you shouldn't be doing this if you don't know that. Well, it shouldn't be in a book. It shouldn't be in a book that anybody can just grab a hold of. Anything that you put into a book that somebody can grab off a shelf or somebody can, you know, grab at Amazon, like, hey, that's open. Anything that you can publish on your Facebook page just openly, well, you can't screen people out. So it shouldn't be there. So I kept seeing that kind of phenomenon, and it is partially what leads to the video that I alluded to in the beginning of the person who was just loud and wrong. Everything that was said was absolutely inappropriate, incorrect, misleading, misguided, and unfortunately, the person who was making the video, it will probably take another 15 years for that person to really figure it out, if ever. If ever, you know what I mean? They were so convicted, I believe that this person is never going to get it. They don't want to get it. They don't see a reason that they need to get it, because they've been able to consume, you know, things that are beyond their pay grade and rationalize what it means in their own mind according to their own, you know, rules, and you know, they're just going to run with it. But for all of the folks who are really serious about the future, the ones of you who truly understand the implications of what we say, how we say it, and who we say it to, and you really want to ensure that there's a body of information and instruction that is intended to build someone's understanding and build someone's practice, then I'm really talking to you. And fundamentally, I'm talking to you because this is about trust, okay? Our is about trust. It's about trust. And we give information and instruction and access according to the trust that we have developed together. So if I don't know you, I'm making a video, I don't know you, so the level of trust between you and I is very low. So by definition, what I'm saying to you here is going to be, you know, low trust. It's going to require low trust, right? But as you know, and how people do, as you watch the content, you listen to my content, you read my content, okay, this matches the level of trust that you and I have. All right, you're going to keep, you know, different angles. You're going to watch more and more videos and read more and more content until you say, you know what? I've seen this guy from these different angles. I trust what he's saying. I'm going to go another level, and I'm going to enroll in a class. I'm going to buy a book. I'm going to join his school. And then you're going to start to partake of the deeper levels of instruction that I'm offering you, and you increase the trust. And as we get more and more trust, I can divulge more information. I can give you a deeper level of instruction, right? So I'm sending this message out to the leaders. I'm sending a call out to the leaders. This is important. This is integral for the future of Orisha lifestyle in our community. And if you're somebody who understands the value and the importance of developmentally appropriate instruction, and you want to use that instruction or partake of that instruction to improve the world through positive influence, then I want you to find out how Oloye, Obafemi Origuma, and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level. Visit me today at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and will heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Ho Dabo.